Industry Insider coming to you from Lime's Hotel Rooftop and Bar for BigSound 2012, brought to you by Jay Dillon. Joining me, first guest here at BigSound, and actually this is a bit of a record breaker. Well, it's not a record breaker, it's a record starter. You're the first guest on Industry Insider, Jen Long. How are you?
I'm really good. How come I'm the first guest?
Because we just decided that you would be the first guest.
Sick.
Yeah, it's good, isn't
awesome,
it?
yeah.
Now Jen's from BBC Radio 1. Now, there's a long list of things you do. You do BBC Radio 1 Introduces, is that?
Yeah, it's called BBC Introducing. It's
Introducing,
like,
right, yeah.
New bands, unsigned, undiscovered, under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else? You've got a blog, which is the Wait for the Click.
Yeah, it's just a little Tumblr with lots of videos and like SoundCloud links that I like.
Yeah. And you're also you're promoting Cardiff and London under the name Rad Flux equals Rad.
Yeah, I just killed Flux equals Rad though. I decided to do simply Rad instead.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
I mean, take the equals out. It's easy.
Well, I moved to London and then started doing club nights instead of putting on shows, and sort of doing monthly club nights instead of kind of just doing gigs. And then kind of did a few in Cardiff, but was like, I live in London now.
Yeah.
So we just do Simply Rad in Cardiff and London, and then 70x7 and Comfortable Shoes in London.
Yeah.
So
And
I thought, yeah.
you have one more.
I've got a tape label.
You've got a quarterly. Don't you have a quarterly?
I have a fanzine as well called Zero Core.
Zero Core,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
and then a tape label called Kissability that I run with the guys from Transgressive. So I think
Kissability-
Toby's coming out here as well.
Kissability, you guys were the first ones to release DZ Deathrays in the UK,
Yeah,
right?
we put out their Ruin My Life EP.
Yeah.
And we also put out another single about a month or so ago by a band that's got two Aussies in it called Splash.
Right.
Who are awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, take us through a little bit about the history of just how you came to be sitting on this couch and what you've done in the industry, because you've done so much already. You've got so much on the plate right there. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did. I really like bands, and I went to university and did journalism and did loads of student radio there, and decided I wanted a radio show. And then when I graduated, I started writing for a little kind of magazine called Kruger that was kind of my friends put together. And from there, just started doing, tour managed a band for a bit, ran a rehearsal space that had a recording studio in it. Then started working for Radio 1, and just things like that. It just kept opportunities came up and things kept snowballing.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, so it's kind of just really looking for those opportunities, or grabbing the opportunities that are offered to you in the industry. I mean,
I think it's like grabbing the opportunities that you get offered if you think they're going to be good, think they're going to be worthwhile and they're going to be things that you're into, and then also making your own opportunities at the same time.
Yeah.
I did Kruger for, wrote for it and was new bands editor for a few years, and then when it ended I was really sad because I really liked doing it and really liked all the friends that I'd met through it, so that's why I started my own fanzine.
Yeah.
Because it was just I already know all these people and I already know how to put it together and things, so why don't I just do it myself?
So it's kind of just keeping that basic skill set that you've learned from a previous position. And I mean, how did you do it? Were you consciously thinking about keeping the databases that you were building up and that sort of stuff, or?
Not really, no. Because I didn't. When I started writing for the magazine, I didn't really know how music worked and stuff. And I'd go to South by Southwest. I'd just be I'm just gonna go. So I just buy flights and be wow, that was really expensive.
Yeah.
And then just get out there and be really excited and just talk to everyone and go anywhere and get drunk with anyone and not really thinking about it. And then it'd be oh, you work for that record label? I love these bands. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
Just kind of an idiot, and finding your way just through enthusiasm and enjoying yourself.
Well, that's probably the best advice I've heard, actually. I mean, apart from the getting drunk thing, we can't. We can promote that, but we can't. But
if you want to hook in music, you kind of need to get drunk.
You said it, not me. Actually, on that note, cheers to that. Yeah. There you go, beautiful.
It is though. The music industry is just a group of people who never want to grow up.
Yeah.
It's like being in Peter Pan.
Oh.
It's just whatever. I don't need to get married and have kids. I could just have debt instead.
Now, this is true. I had that conversation with my dad the other day, and he's fully prepared to not be a grandfather, and I'm fully prepared for him not to be a grandfather, to be honest. Tell us a little bit more about let's go through a couple of your individual your different projects. Let's have a chat about your blog.
All right, the blog's just like a little hobby thing, really, where there's like when you like lots of different music and you like lots of different acts and bands and you kind of want to tell people about them all the time, and there's only a certain number of tracks I can play on my radio show every week, and there's only a certain a very small number of things that I'm going to put out, and it's just another way to kind of just go like, I love this, especially like I've got a few Twitter followers and stuff like that now, so I figure just link a blog up to Twitter, and it's just a good way of getting to talk about the music you love again and again and again.
Now that's Wait for the Click. What's the address for that, just so people can go and check it out?
Well, actually, I've changed it. Well, if you go to waitfortheclick.co.uk, I'm going to switch it over, but my friend bought the domain for me, and I didn't really know how to use the internet. Because I was like, I want a blog, but I don't understand how it works. But then, like, I manage a couple of bands as well, and one of them are like, they didn't have a website when I started helping them out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I kind of taught myself by Googling things how to, like, buy a domain name and like link it to Tumblr and like have the address, and so I was really proud of myself when I did that.
That's wow. I mean,
So I'm going to change as soon as I get the domain off my friend. I'm going to change it to my because I put it over to Tumblr instead of doing a WordPress, because I like Tumblr better.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy and it's so like interactive and it's a community and people can like reblog things and follow you so easily. Yeah, it just kind of beats going on Google Reader all the time.
Awesome. Now tell us about the gigs you're putting on in London and Cardiff.
Oh, so
and that name's changed. It's not It's not
Simply Rad.
Simply Rad now.
Simply Rad, because there's this band that I really loved called Dan and Anna Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And they were splitting up, and I was just having a drink with one of them, and it was like, oh, do you want to just put one of the shows on in Cardiff? And I was like, yeah, totally. So we put it on in a really tiny, like, underground nightclub, and it was like the sweatiest gig ever, and it was awesome. And then me and my friends DJ'd after, and we just had so much fun playing like everything from like At the Drive-In to Rihanna to Refuse to like Journey. That were like, let's just start a club night, it'll be great. And we were going to call it Waft, which is this word that people in Cardiff say that they made up. It stands for well up for that. So it's like,
hey,
mate, do you want to go out? And it's like, yeah, Waft.
that makes sense. That's good.
We're going to call it that. And then we were walking to a club night one night, and we were just having a chat, and we were like talking about band merch, and we were like, yeah, let's do a t-shirt with a cat on it, and the cat's saying like Waft or something, and it was like, and the cat's wearing a jumper that says Simply Rad, because it's like a pun on Simply Red.
Yeah, right.
And we just thought it was funny, and then we were like, let's just call the club night Simply. It's a really dumb story.
Yeah,
it's of no use to anyone. I'm sorry, guys.
There's got to be a story behind everything, so.
Yeah, so we just do it in Cardiff, like now and again, doing a stage at Soon Festival. And yeah, we just put on bands that we really like, and we all just get quite drunk and play loads of songs that we love, and everyone has a good time and dances like idiots, and it's great.
Sounds good.
Just do a kind of like monthly thing in London that's pretty much the same, but people are a bit cooler in London,
Yeah.
So there's not so much.
So you're pretty much just going up. You're just going in there with a bunch of mates and just doing how you see a club night to be, really.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 70 times 7 is the monthly one in London. That's like bands and super fun, and it's kind of like more emo.
Yeah.
And then Comfortable Shoes is like a kind of gay indie night, because I went to London and there was nothing like that.
Yeah.
That me and my friend Rod Thomas, who's like makes music under Bright Light, where we just stand in a pub and play indie songs.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's really good fun.
Yeah, that'd be very
we
interesting.
just stand and chat. It's like the only time we ever see each other every month. He's so busy.
It's just an excuse to catch up and drink, isn't it? So yeah.